I don't know how to do these intros, Jab.
Honestly, it would probably help if we had a name, but we don't even have a name,
No,
so
we
it's
don't have a
hard to like.
name. No, I jokingly said the Jab and Ab podcast, and some people said they actually liked it.
I mean, if they like it, then I'm down. I'm horrible with coming up with names, so if something sticks, I'm down to do
Yeah, I guess we'll just leave it up to the community if they can come up with a good name.
it. Yeah.
But yeah, guys, it's your boy AB and your mom's favorite YouTuber Jaboozle.
hmm
And we're back again with another mobile gaming podcast, and we're here to give you guys all of the latest and greatest news in the mobile landscape. Um, Hello, Jaboozle.
So yeah, we don't have a name just yet, so it's kind of hard to come up with the intro. Um, but I mean, it is what it is. We're just gonna roll with it and stuff. And last time we actually went for longer than we thought we were going to. We ended up talking about some pretty decent topics and stuff.
Yeah, no, definitely. Once me and Jab get rolling, I think it just comes naturally. Jab is super knowledgeable. He knows everything about everything, and whenever I have questions, I don't even bother googling. I just ask Jab.
This is the part where Ace comments like, "Look, they're already starting to
Oh
just
yeah,
compliment
yeah. Ace was like, "I'm not gonna watch. It's just two guys flirting."
Yeah, man.
But
But
yeah,
did you have any the last time I just had them in my head. I didn't actually write down any topics, but this time I actually wrote them down and stuff because I didn't want to like forget. But
no,
did you
yeah,
have any that you wanted to kick off with?
yeah. So the episode one, we just kind of just freestyled it. We just kind of jumped in, started talking about things, and it wasn't as structured, but it still felt nice. People really seemed to enjoy it. For today's episode, I really only have like one topic that I kind of wanted to touch on that was kind of interesting. But if you have some that you want to talk about, Jeb, we can go through those too, man. Or if you know what's on your mind,
Yeah.
dude. I heard that you recently did you end up getting a new phone?
Yeah, so that was actually the one that I wanted to talk about with. So I got the Red Magic 8 Pro. It's a very, very good phone. I got it last week and I basically like as soon as I think I got it last Tuesday, so it's been a little over a week. And as soon as I got it, I popped my SIM card in, I moved all my games and apps and stuff like that over to it, and I've been using it as my not just, a gaming device, but like as my daily phone for the last week. And it's been good, but it also has like some pretty like glaring issues coming from an iPhone, because I still have my iPhone 13 Pro, so I've been like everything that I do on the Red Magic, I'm just comparing it to like, oh, but this is how it is on iPhone, or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, but for the most part, it's an amazing phone. It really is, especially for its price. Like the fact that you get such powerful hardware in there, and 120 hertz and like all this stuff for like brand new. It's like $600. Like it's a really really good phone.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right here. I'm on the Twitter page for the Red Magic, and I mean starting prices at 649. I mean much cheaper than most iPhones. Cheaper than some of the flagship Samsung devices as well. Oh, these dogs, bro! I swear. Oh man, and see, and this is
They're
what.
the first guest on the podcast. The
Oh my
dogs.
god, I'm gonna spank them all. I'm gonna spank all those dogs, dude. But yeah, one of the things that I noticed about the Red Magic is, its its price point is very competitive, and are there any features in it,
Yeah.
especially since you do also daily drive an iPhone, going from iPhone and like a specifically the Red Magic, are there any sacrifices that you've seen that were made for the Red Magic to kind of get to that price point?
Oh, 100%. The first thing that you notice immediately is the cameras. I feel like this is not just a Red Magic problem though. This is like a gaming phone problem in general. Um, because I've had a couple gaming phones before. I've had like the Asus ROG phone like 2 years ago. I had a different Red Magic a few months ago, and then obviously now I have this one. One place that they always kind of cheap out on to get that price point to be, 650 or whatever it is. It's the cameras. Like the cameras, especially comparing it to the quality of my iPhone, it's significantly worse. Specifically with the Red Magic 8 Pro, the selfie camera. I don't know if you want to, you can pull up like a picture of the Red Magic 8 Pro, the front of it. If for anyone that knows what it looks like, it doesn't have like a notch or anything. It doesn't have a notch. It doesn't have like a little, like a hole punch selfie camera or anything like that. It's literally just all screen. And the way that they accomplish that is because they actually put the selfie camera under the display, which is like kind of
Oh.
yeah, it's like kind of new technology and stuff. And so for like media and for like games, it's great, right? Because you get like more screen. You don't have like an annoying notch or something to get in the way and take up screen space. But because it is kind of like new technology and stuff, it's not really great right now. So the camera quality of that selfie camera is really, really bad. Like it feels like you're taking selfies with the camera from like 10 years ago. Like that's how bad the quality is.
Oh wow.
Um
So even
yeah,
though
it's
it's like
it's a
technically new technology, the image that it's giving you feels like old technology because of the way it's being
yeah.
used.
Yeah, exactly. And like I get it. Some people, like a lot of people are gonna be like, oh well, it's a gaming phone. Like I don't care about cameras and stuff, But like my whole little goal with getting the Red Magic was not only to get it as like a gaming device, but I wanted to see if it could replace my iPhone as like my daily driver. And that was one thing that I noticed immediately was like, damn, this is a huge downgrade coming from an iPhone. And I'm not even like a huge selfie guy. I'm not like even a huge picture guy in general, but I do like knowing that I have like a really good camera in my pocket with my iPhone.
Right.
And the Red Magic definitely feels like a huge step backwards with the selfie camera. With the back cameras, they're fine. They're like I would give them like a 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10. They're like serviceable. It's not you're not going to be presenting any pictures with it being like, look how amazing this looks or anything like that. But it's like it's okay. It feels like maybe the same quality as like an iPhone from a few years ago. Um, but yeah, that selfie camera, that's the immediate like huge downgrade you notice, and like, oh, that's where they're kind of saving some of that money to keep it at that competitive price point. But I don't want to just say bad things about it because obviously it's like a really good phone and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like this other than that, the screen, it's huge. I have the iPhone 13 Pro, so it's a 6.1 inch screen, I think. Whereas the Red Magic is like 6.8 or something like that. So it's a
Oh, that's
huge, like,
huge.
yeah, it's really, really big. It's nice to look at. I love the rectangle design that they went with. The Android phone that I actually had before I switched over to iPhones a few years ago was the Razer Phone 2, which was like one of the first gaming phones that released in the US. And that one had a rectangle design too, and I really liked it about that phone. Like that's the one thing I really liked about that phone. And so the fact that the Red Magic 8 Pro has that, it was really, really cool for me. It does kind of make it, because it's so big, it does kind of make it kind of hard to hold in the hands for like an extended period of time because it's
Mm-hmm.
kind of sharp, and it's a big boy. It's a big phone. But yeah, for the most part, the design is great. The performance, I mean, I don't even really need to talk about the performance. Like the game performance is amazing. Everything maxed out. You're getting high FPS in every game that you throw at it. Like there's nothing negative you can say about the game performance. Like it's fantastic. I think where some of the drawbacks start to appear are when you look at it just as a normal phone. Like that's when you start to see some of the drawbacks, like the cameras,
Right.
for example.
I was like the what do you call it? Like the UI and anything special, anything like gamer specific? Does it have like, does it automatically detect, games that operate at 120 hertz and like give you the max frame rate? Does it give you like performance enhancements, like anything like software related?
Yeah, so they have like a little dedicated button on the side. It's like a red button,
I
and
see
it's
that.
like a
Like a little
yeah, and so it's a little slider, yeah.
yeah.
So when you slide that on, it boots into, it's basically just like a nice little UI. Kind of looks a little bit like a console. And
Hmm.
and it's basically like a little hub to manage your games and stuff. And in this little hub, you can really customize games. You can increase the sensitivity of the touch screen if you want to like be more responsive. So that's something that I did, for example, in like COD Mobile immediately. I went into the settings in that little game hub that they have, And then I went on COD Mobile and I made sure that the screen was like the maximum sensitivity or whatever, so that I could, just make sure that I had like the most competitive advantages or whatever. Um, there you can set up like the air triggers that are on the side of the phone. And there's just like a bunch of little like gamer specific features that you can find in there. When it comes to the main operating system though, it's just basic Android. Like it's very much like stock Android. Like there's no bloat, there's no like pre-installed apps that you want to get rid of or anything. So that part's actually really cool. The fact that I didn't have to like have like 50 different apps installed when I set up the phone and then have to like delete all of them because I don't want them and stuff like that. So it's pretty much just stock Android. It's very clean, it's very good. They have a few different themes like from the get-go that you can change. So it'll change like the app icons and stuff. You can choose it to be just like a generic phone, like an Android phone, or you can have it to look like kind of gamery and stuff.
Mm,
um yeah, so there's a lot of customization there. There's a lot of things that you can do specifically with like when it comes to customizing how you want your game to play and stuff. You can technically like overclock the phone. There's like an option where automatically it just sets every game to balanced mode. There's like an eco mode if you want to save battery. It's basically just battery saving mode. And then there's another one called Rise, and that one it'll basically just use more of the processor to keep your frame rate high. But of course, the downside is that it'll heat up the phone more and stuff. But that's another thing that the phone has though. If it gets too hot, it has that built-in little fan, so it'll keep it kind of cool. Honestly, it doesn't really keep the phone cool. I think what the fans like purpose is to basically ensure that you can play at a high performance for as long as possible.
right.
But it doesn't mean that the processor itself is not going to heat up at all, because it still does get hot. And so I did notice that when I was playing like Genshin for a long time and stuff, the phone still felt like very hot in my hand, despite the fan going like as fast as it could and stuff. But the performance didn't drop, which I guess is like the most important part.
I was looking at the phone itself, and it looks like there's like quite a few like buttons and stuff on the sides. I'm guessing, is there anything? How many ports does this thing have? Does it have like two USB C, or is it one USB C on this phone?
No, it's just the one.
The one port.
It's yeah, it's the one port, and then there is still a headphone jack though, which is something that is pretty cool. Personally, I don't really use it because I have like a few different wireless headphones at this point, but
Mm.
I know that's something that a lot of people care about, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, especially for some people that buy like really expensive like gamer headsets. You know what I mean? They have like built-in mics and all that.
Yeah, that was actually one thing that was like from the last week that I've been using it as my daily phone. That was one thing that popped out to me that I didn't really like, and it's one of the reasons why I actually switched back to my iPhone this morning. So I make my content on my phone and I have been doing that for since I started YouTube. And so what I normally do is, I record gameplay and then I put my mic into my phone and then I start to record my commentary and I edit and all that stuff. And on my iPhone, when I go to record my commentary, like I'll plug in my mic and then my mic is on. And even if I'm not recording, like my mic is on, it's ready to go. And then if I press record, excuse me, it'll record clean and stuff. And there's no problem. But for some reason on the Red Magic, even if your mic is plugged in, it keeps it off until you press record. And then once it starts recording, it turns your mic on. And the reason why this is an issue is because every time a mic turns on when you're plugged into this phone, it does like this weird frequency noise. It's like a boom, and then your mic is like active, and then you can start to talk or whatever.
Huh.
So I noticed when I tried to make a video on the Red Magic, and then also when I was in game and trying to use my mic that was connected to the phone, like my headset mic that was connected to the phone, every time I go to talk, it's like it has my mic off, and then I go to talk and then it detects it, it turns on the mic and it does this weird like boom, and then it starts to go.
Oh, that's
And it's
weird.
really, really, yeah, it's really, really annoying. I know it might not sound like a big deal to some people listening, but it's really, really annoying when you're trying to make a video and you record like 30 different voice lines and every single one of them starts off with this really loud boom, and then you have to edit
Right.
that out. And then it's such
It
a small little thing, but it's so weird, and it really, really bothered me about the phone.
Yeah, having like those little like technical issues, and it's something that you can't. I guess you can't work it out, right? It's just something that just keeps happening, and there's no.
Yeah, it's the I thought at first I thought my mic was like messing up or something. So I have three different USB-C adapters that I could use to like plug USB devices into my phone. So I tried every single adapter that I had, and every one of them had this issue. But then I plugged the mic into my iPhone, and it doesn't have that issue at all. Like it just works perfectly. But when I switched it back to the Red Magic, it was doing that, and it did this with not only my main mic that I'm using right now, but it also did this with my headset mic. So when I try to talk in game, my headset mic is off, and then I go to talk, and then it turns on. So every time someone hears me, it's like a boom, and then they hear me like 2 seconds late because my mic wasn't even on, and so they missed the first 2 seconds of what I said, and like it was just a really small thing, but it was really really annoying, and I was like, honestly, just that little thing made me want to like switch back because I was like, it's annoying. I don't want to have to deal with it, you know?
You know, that's super annoying. And then I see a tweet here from you about another issue you had about testing out the 5G network, and I guess it wasn't working too well for you.
Yeah, so that's you mentioned earlier, like like what did they kind of take away from these phones or whatever to get them so cheap? That's another thing that they kind of cheap out on is like I guess the cellular bands. Um, Even though this phone technically it has the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, which is it has all the cellular bands we could need, I guess. I don't really know how it works, but for some reason they just don't include a lot of them that we use here in the US. So what that means is if you're like out and about or if you're in like a rough area and you require a specific cellular band to get good connection, and the Red Magic does not support that, you won't get a good connection. And so that's something that Red Magic has been doing for years now with their phones. They really, really cheap out on the cellular bands that they include, and they don't include a lot of the ones that the US needs to have like good coverage on like T-Mobile or whatever it is. So the images that I shared, that was a 5G data test with the Red Magic, which only got 16 megabit download, which is really, really bad for my area.
Right.
And then the other one was my iPhone, which got 317, which is actually pretty low because normally when I
Yeah,
test on my iPhone,
damn, 317. That's a
yeah,
lot, boy. That's still a lot.
and that's actually low because sometimes when I test on my iPhone, it's getting like 500,
Oh
600. Like
my
it's sometimes,
god.
yeah, sometimes it's faster than my Wi-Fi. And
Yeah,
this is the same exact SIM card. I'm sitting in the same exact spot. Nothing's obstructing me or anything like that. And that's the difference in the speeds.
that's huge.
And it Yeah, and it's only because the Red Magic, it just doesn't have the necessary like cellular bands that we need here in America to actually use it to like its full potential. But to be fair, there are some I did do like a follow-up tweet to this. Um I enabled some setting and it did temporarily fix the issue. And so I started to actually get faster speeds than my iPhone. But then it was like hit or miss. Like I would literally move from my room to the kitchen and then it would go back and it would be even worse than, before. And then I would test again in my bathroom and then it would be even better. And it would be, so it's super, super inconsistent. So it's really hard to use this as a daily phone as well because the cell connection sometimes it's really good and most of the time it's really really bad. And yeah, so that was another major issue because I don't want to be in a situation where like I'm at work or I'm at the gym or something and I can't even use like Spotify or something because my cell connection is so bad that I can't even use these like basic apps or something.
Right. Damn, I noticed in the first image, the first tweet that we were looking at with the 16 down and the was it the 400, 300. The ping is actually on the 16 download. You have like a 44 ping with only 16 down, and then on the other one you have like a 64 ping, so comparable, and you're still getting better connection with the iPhone. So yeah,
Yeah.
whatever bands they're using or whatever chipset, whatever handles that bandwidth and stuff, like that's crazy. That's a big deal. I think I
Yeah.
read in one of your comments, and one of your replies said some probably because they assumed that gamers would be playing on Wi-Fi networks. That's one way that they would cheap out, put in a
Yeah.
cheaper 5G cards or whatever, and then because they
Yeah.
figure most gamers would be playing on Wi-Fi networks. But I imagine how many people would be buying these phones thinking that, oh, it's a gamer phone, I'm gonna get best of the best, and then when they hop online and their connection isn't as good as they thought it was gonna be, it's because they're playing on mobile data. That's gonna be one
Yeah.
of the reasons for it right there. One of those little like underlying things that probably a lot of people wouldn't know about.
Yeah, and I know to a lot of people this won't really make it won't matter because yeah they'll be like, oh, I'm at home, I'm gonna use Wi-Fi anyway, so I don't really care. But for me it matters because like if I'm gonna be traveling and if I'm gonna be going to work and stuff, like I want to have my phone be reliable when it comes to needing to make calls or text messages, or even if I just want to like waste time and go on TikTok and stuff like that. And those are all things I don't have to worry about when I'm on my iPhone because it always has really really good connection. But because the red magic lacks so many necessary of the cellular bands that we need here in the US, it just makes it so that like I have to hope, I have to hope that
Mm.
it's I'm gonna be in an area where I got good connection. Otherwise, I'm screwed basically.
When I first saw this tweet, I originally thought that you were recommending the pants.
It's funny, someone actually said they're like buy the shorts.
Wait, really?
They just yeah, they just ignored like the context of the tweet and they're like, hey, buy the shorts.
Yeah, I seen it. I was like, oh, is Jab recommending a sale on these pants? Oh yeah, Neutral Warrior, get them shorts. That's funny. They got that dad at barbecue Saturday vibe. I dig it, bro. I was just thinking there's some nice
Yeah.
looking shorts, nice little cargo shorts on the side. You can fit your red magic over
No.
here and your iPhone in the other one.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
but yeah, to basically wrap up the Red Magic talk, it's a really really dope phone, specifically for like mobile gaming. It throws every single game I throw at it. I can max out every slider, every setting and stuff. It'll handle it just fine. The charging speed is amazing. It literally can charge from 0 to 100% in less than 40 minutes, which like my iPhone takes like an hour and a half to do that. So it's
Mm.
literally like 3 times faster. Um, but it just felt like some of the benefits of the phone just didn't outweigh some of the negatives. And as a phone, as a mobile gaming device, I don't care about cameras. Obviously, I don't really care about the 5G connection because I'll be on Wi-Fi. But as a daily driver, like as a phone, there's just some annoying things about it, and there's just some drawbacks that made me want to switch back to my iPhone. But
Right.
yeah, that's pretty much it though. I wanted to actually ask you though, AB, because I know you actually mentioned in the community post that I did on YouTube that you're on the Galaxy S20 Plus.
Yeah.
What do you think your next device will be when you eventually upgrade?
Um, I was looking at the gaming phones for sure, especially these like Red Magic phones. I don't want to go the iPhone route because I don't want to get caught into the whole Apple ecosystem. I don't want to feel like, oh, now I need the MacBook, now I need the AirPods, now I need,
Yeah,
everything to be in order to get like the full experience and the full like all the benefits. I don't want to fall
yeah,
into that whole thing. So I was really looking at like an Android gaming device, the Red Magics in particular. I do like the idea of like all like the having the triggers. I think the triggers are a big. Um, they look really attractive. Um,
yeah,
but I mean, I really don't know. I mean, I'm probably still gonna keep this phone for at least maybe another year, maybe all the way through 2024. Um, until I feel like okay, my phone isn't really keeping up with games like, at the moment like Warzone Mobile or Rainbow Six Mobile. Like that's gonna be like the next generation of games, and if my phone really can't handle those games, then I'm gonna be looking at upgrading. The
yeah,
the price points and stuff for the Red Magics, I mean, they're super competitive. 649. You can't really. I mean, the next Galaxy is going to be $1,000 minimum. An iPhone would be a
yeah,
thousand dollars minimum. An iPad we're probably looking at, you know, unless I'm buying used, $1,000 minimum. So this price point is looking really, really attractive. I just don't know for like a daily driver how I would feel about daily driving one of these things. And with hearing your experience and stuff, I mean, it's not a deal breaker. Again, I'm not a big camera guy. I'm not,
yeah,
some of those features I wouldn't mind. But I mean, for me, especially in this space, the content creation space, I'm sure you probably feel the same way. Like you need to have equipment and devices that can actually produce, good content. So,
Yeah.
it might be a worthy expense, a worthwhile expense. But I
Oh,
mean,
you cut out a little bit.
oh no, sorry, probably bad internet. No, I was just saying that if I do look to upgrade, it'll probably be maybe another year or so, and probably gonna seriously look at like the gaming devices. Unless
Yeah.
Samsung, because I'm a huge Samsung guy now. If they make a Galaxy that's like, got everything, I might be like, you know what, okay, cool. Like this is basically everything that I need, and it might be a little bit more expensive, but it'll be worth it. Especially for like daily driving, But I mean,
Yeah.
I won't make that decision for sure until I'm in the actual like in that at that point where I need to make a purchase.
Right. That
So,
was actually what I was looking at before I settled for the Red Magic. I was looking at the Galaxy phones because I really like the new design, and I was really really liking the no the 23 Ultra, whatever it's called. Um, but they're just expensive, man. Like they're literally like, I think that one is like $1,300 versus the Red Magic, which is
oof,
less than half. It's at 650 versus 1,300. It's like, so you could buy two Red Magics and have $50 left over. Like it's kind of hard to go
right.
some of these flagship phones and stuff. And I actually was reading something earlier apparently about the iPhones, the new ones.
Uh huh.
Apparently they're getting a price increase too.
Huh? The new iPhones?
That's what it was saying. I think it might only be the Pro models, like the Pro and the Pro Max or whatever.
Oh
But
man.
they might be doing $100 or $200 price increase on those. And I was actually excited for those too because this year is the year that Apple finally ditches the Lightning port and they're going USB-C.
Oh,
Um,
is that going to take place
yeah,
in the
so
U.S. too, though?
yeah, I think it's like all but confirmed. Like I think they were just waiting for them to show it, but I think like the whole like the iPhone design has leaked and everything, and it has USB-C apparently. Um,
Oh, because I
but
remember
yeah,
reading something
that
about the UK making it mandatory. They passed law that they're trying to get rid of like all those proprietary crap that and they just want to like go universal. And Type C was the one they chose, and I guess Apple
yeah,
was trying to fight it because they lose out sales on selling people lightning cables. It's in their own proprietary stuff. And so I wasn't sure if
yeah,
that wasn't apply to the US, but I mean it might be cheaper for them to just go all USB C now. But they
yeah. I
actually
think
jacked
if
up the
anything,
price.
yeah, I think if anything, it would probably be more expensive for them to make two separate iPhones. Like one with Lightning and one with USB-C. So they probably just went like, if we're being forced to do this in Europe, we might as well just do it everywhere. But yeah, apparently they were saying like the 14, I think specifically the Pro and Pro Max, or maybe just the Pro Max, that it's rumored that there's going to be like a price increase for those phones. Which wouldn't surprise me because obviously, it's Apple, so they basically do what they want and people still buy it anyway.
That's crazy. Yeah, for real. I mean, yeah, that's what happens. You fall, and that's your brand, and you're gonna buy it no matter what.
Yeah, but for you, the if you do eventually end up upgrading to a new device, I do think the Red Magics would actually fit you pretty well because the cellular connectivity thing, it's not that big of a deal. I didn't have any instances where I actually did lose connection when I was out and about. It was just more of like the worry of, because I'd be testing the speeds and I'd be like, oh, this location that I'm at right now is not getting the best speed, but I still had connection. I could still go on Twitter and everything loaded and stuff like that. So it was more of like a worry than it was an actual concern. Um, and then if you're not a big camera guy, obviously that doesn't really matter then in the first place. And besides those two things, really, like it's an amazing phone. Like the screen is amazing. The performance is amazing. The price isn't too high. The charging speed is really, really good. The size of the battery, it's literally double the capacity of my iPhone. My iPhone is like 3,000 milliamps or whatever, and the Red Magic is 6,000. So it literally has double the battery and it charges three times faster. So it's crazy. But but yeah, I would definitely recommend for your case. I think just for me, I prefer my iPhone right now.
Yeah. If you do you plan on keeping both? You have your Red Magic and your iPhone?
Yeah, I still have them both. I think I did switch back to my iPhone this morning, but I think I'm gonna switch my SIM card and everything back to the Red Magic for like another week or two and really try to see, do I want to use this as my daily phone? um and see what I end up deciding. If I don't, then I'll just use the iPhone as my daily phone and the Red Magic as like my content, device.
Hmm.
And and if I do end up being like, okay, I can compromise with these things and everything else is good enough that I just want to keep the Red Magic as my daily driver, then at that point I would probably just sell my iPhone because I wouldn't really have any use for it, and I could use that money to buy like a cheap iPad or something to edit on or whatever. So I'm not sure. I haven't made my decision yet, but I do definitely want to give the Red Magic a little bit more chance. I feel like a 1 week isn't really enough to decide if it's good for me or not.
Hmm.
So I do want to give it a little bit more of a chance.
Yeah, for sure. Um, ideally, ideally, uh, you'd be able to have both, right?
Yeah, I mean the that'd be like the perfect scenario because you get all the benefits of having an iPhone as your daily phone, and then an Android when you want it. Like right now, for example, like I know this would definitely factor into whether or not I would want to keep the Red Magic or my iPhone. If there was like a beta, for example, for like Rainbow Six Mobile or something, like
Right.
right now there's no betas happening that are like Android exclusive or anything like that, so I can't really say how much it'll affect me. But I know when like it comes time when I see like Project Bloodstrike Android beta only and like Rainbow Six
Right.
Mobile Android beta only and stuff, that's when I'm like, oh my god, I wish I had an Android right now. And that's not gonna stop. That's just every time there's like new games in development or in testing and stuff, like they're gonna be testing on Android only. So that's a huge benefit too for being on Android over iPhone, because iPhones are just always like they always get it last. They basically get the games like right before they actually like fully, globally release and stuff. Whereas Androids can sometimes have it for like a year prior or 6 months prior. And as a content creator, that's important to be able to have like the latest games and stuff.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that was something that I was thinking about too. Is like one of the benefits of having Android is that you always get access to like the majority of the betas and stuff. You know what no one ever talks about are like the Android tablets. Like no one ever considers like an Android tablet.
Yeah.
It's always like iPad, but like people like completely like ignore that there's like a whole nother market in the tablet scene. Wasn't
You
there?
know what? You know why I think that is? I think because most Android tablets are kind of like budget devices or like mid-range devices. Like, there's hardly any companies making like high-end Android tablets to compete with like high-end iPads. Like the only company that's really doing it is like Samsung. And I think Red Magic and Lenovo are like just like literally in the last couple weeks just now releasing like super high-end gaming tablets, but they're only in China.
Oh, yeah, because I'm looking
Yeah,
at
like
one
like
right here, the Nubia Red Magic, the first gaming tablet, Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 processor,
yeah.
10,000 milliamp battery, 144
Jesus.
hertz, 12-inch display, Ice Magic cooling system, gives gamers bold aesthetic feel. Damn, it looks nice.
Yeah, and you know what's crazy? I heard that the starting price was like $500 or something. So literally,
No.
literally half the cost of an iPad Pro.
Oh man, dude. That's pretty competitive right there. I mean, I think in order to like beat like the iPads and stuff, first and foremost, probably get that price, to look more appealing. And yeah, half the price. I
Yeah.
mean, that's a nice start. Obviously,
Yeah. I think the only problem with this right now, the Red Magic tablet, is that it hasn't been confirmed to come like globally. So as of right now, literally the only way that like someone like you or me could buy this is if we knew someone in China and they basically import it to us. And then the only other way would be to buy it on eBay from like a reseller who's selling it for like two or three times its value.
or or if anybody from the Red Magic team wants to sponsor, send some over. Maybe the NetEase
Bro,
connections want to hook it up. I mean, I'm just saying.
I've you know what's funny? I've hit up the Red Magic team multiple times trying to get like something,
Uh huh.
and every time either at first the first like two or three times they just ignored it, and then after that it was like our team will review it and we'll let you know and blah blah, and I'm just like Come on. But
Oh.
yeah, I'm pretty sure they have like a very high threshold where like you need to be, 100K subs minimum or something like that. Um but yeah, that I've wanted to get, I wanted to get it so bad, and then I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna buy the phone myself. Like they're not they're not hitting me back up. So
They probably get asked so many times and stuff, and they probably, you know, it probably is hard, really hard to get noticed by them. Sometimes, you know what I mean. They got
yeah.
so many people reaching out probably, and I noticed that they were doing like giveaways and stuff. So I was always trying to like mention me and you in the giveaways, like, hey, bro, like, you can hook us up too.
Yeah, it's crazy too, because I know that once you do get in their little like content creator club and stuff, they be sending you anything new that they make, they just send it to you. Because I always see these content creators that I follow that are sponsored by Red Magic, like every 2-3 months, it's like I got the new Red Magic phone, or I got the upgraded Red Magic phone. It's like, bro, you just got sent the other one like 3 months ago. Like what? How many do you have laying around? Like.
They're like, and I'm gonna give away two of them. All you got to do is like and subscribe.
Yeah, I mean, good for them. Obviously, it's sick to have a one of the biggest names in like mobile gaming, like recognize you and be sending you stuff like that. But yeah, I think they have like a very high threshold, because even with 20K subs, like they're leaving me on red.
They're leaving me on red. Damn, but yeah, I mean the tablet actually looks really nice. I mean, I haven't seen anybody play any games on it. I would probably have to go to YouTube and look some videos up, but I don't want to look up somebody's video that's gonna get me copyright claim. But yeah,
Yeah,
the device looks
before
pretty cool.
Yeah, before I bought the phone, I knew that they were working on this, and so I wanted to check it out to see like how expensive it would be. But then that's when I found out it was like China only and stuff. And then I looked it up on eBay. There's like resellers from China selling it to US people for like $1,200, and I'm like, ah, dude, I'm not gonna do that. Like,
They like quadrupled the price or three times the price or whatever.
yeah, pretty much.
Damn. So any other things on your mind, Jab? Anything else you want to talk about? Anything else happen? Anything cool? Any drama you want to get
Yeah,
into?
no drama. I haven't really been paying attention. I do know that there was, actually, wait, was that last week? I actually, yeah, I'm mixing up something from last week, but I haven't really heard of any other drama or anything like that. But to be honest, I haven't really been paying attention. I did want to ask you though, this is like nothing mobile gaming related, but I
Mm-hmm.
did want to ask you about the alien stuff. Because
Yes.
I know, because I know you've been talking about it obviously on your stream and stuff, and I'm surprised that more people in your chat aren't interested in it. Because like some of them do seem interested in it, but
Mm-hmm.
after like 5 minutes of you talking about it, they just go back to like, hey, customs, or like, hey, B, invite me next.
Yeah, man. I mean, obviously, we build our YouTube personalities, careers, content. It's all content first, so you get
Yeah,
you build your audience, and they know you for one or two things. They either know you for whatever videos you're making on, or so my community already knows me
yeah.
for Call of Duty mobile gaming. And so when you tend to stray away from that, they don't want to hear anything else, dude.
Dude, I totally know what you mean.
They're like, nope, we don't care about your movies interests. We don't care about aliens. We don't want to hear nothing about Pokemon. They're like, shut up and play customs, snipers only, run it 1v1s, let's go. um,
Yeah, I've had that so many times. Every time I make a video that's like not FPS related, it's just like a, hey, any news on Combat Master? When's Valor Mobile coming out? And like, just random random things like that.
yeah, I mean, I'm still gonna try to one of the beauties of having the membership channel is just that I can
Mhm.
experiment with content. It wouldn't be stuff that I would normally upload to the channel. So I'm
Yeah,
just
that was one thing that I actually wanted to mention to you that was really, really smart, because obviously the members are paying for the membership because they do want to see a little bit more personal like insight on you. They want those features that come with the membership and stuff like that. So if anything, those are the most dedicated people that will watch like whatever video you put out. And I really like that one, the one that you did, the membership video where you talked about the whole alien stuff and all that. I definitely learned a lot about that Vegas incident too, about that
Oh
guy, because
man.
I did not know how crazy he was. Like over here talking like, yeah, some lady at 7-Eleven told me that it was gonna happen 3 months
Yeah,
before.
dude,
And
it just got
that's
weirder and
crazy.
weirder because I was neck deep into it. I was like, I need to watch every single video that comes out of this because at any moment now, these aliens are they're gonna pop up and the world's gonna change forever. And the more videos I saw, I was like, yeah, I don't know now. I don't know
I
about
think
this
that's
particular case now.
Yeah, that's always the problem with like some of the people that have experiences. It always feels like they're like they start off okay, but then they just go into like crazy town and they just start saying all these things that just completely like make you think like their experience is just invalidated. Um, like yeah, that was crazy. Like him being like, yeah, basically some lady told me it was gonna happen and then it did happen and stuff. And
Yeah.
it just raises way more like it you're if you come out with a UFO story, you're already gonna have a bunch of suspicion
Mm-hmm.
and just skepticism and stuff like that. So I don't know why they just keep I genuinely feel like maybe in his specific situation, like it seemed like he was being very active online talking about it and like answering questions and like doing like interviews and stuff like that. So I think it's very possible that maybe he just, was like, I just want to keep milking this and I just want to keep being invited onto things to talk about it. So let me just keep giving more details that I didn't mention last time, but I'm gonna mention this time and like things like that. And yeah, I don't know. I don't the more he's talked, the less I buy it basically.
Yeah, dude, it just felt so real. I felt like that was like the closest that we were gonna get to like actual proof and evidence because the family initially sounded so believable.
Yeah.
And then the police body cam footage and you're like, wow, like all of this is starting to add up to possibly being like a very accurate, situation, and then nothing came
Yeah.
of it. And people break down the videos and they look for more info, and it just got weirder and weirder. And unfortunately, nothing really came out of it. But it doesn't stop me from like continuing to look at UFOs and for like looking at more stuff. And I don't know, it's just something
Yeah.
that's fascinating. And you know, yeah, I mean, it's just
No,
and
no, yeah.
I'm gonna keep doing stuff like that for the members videos, and just give more uh opinions and stuff, and just kind of let people know more of my interests and hobbies. It's not just gaming. I'm sure you're the same
Yeah.
way too. We don't Yeah, we focus so much, we pour our blood, sweat, and tears and time into making gaming content and stuff, but we have other interests, sports or cars or anime, and weird things
Yeah.
like UFOs, science and stuff, like, what I mean. So
Yeah, I think that's one of the benefits of doing something like this too, is that like the only people that are gonna listen to this are people who want to see whatever it is that AB's up to, or whatever it is that Jaboozle's up to. And yeah, it's nice to like take a break too from like the grind of just doing mobile games and just talk about other interests that we might have and stuff. And especially with the topic of like aliens and stuff, like it's super interesting. Even if most of this stuff's fake, or even if it's like not really
bro, do you
this
see
video that
this?
you're showing.
Do
Yeah.
you see this alien? Bro, it's real. Oh my god. Yo. Oh, they got the body. It's right there.
Yeah,
Actually,
like this, like it's this
I,
stuff has always been like interesting to me. Like it's
yeah,
always been
I
so
believe this
fun
is
to.
actually at some kind of like museum or something. It's like a display. It's an exhibit, but
Yeah.
you if if this gets taken out of context, people will be like, "Oh my god, look, an alien."
That was another thing that I was thinking of. Like a lot of stuff does get taken out of context. I think you commented on Twitter recently about a video where people were like, "Look, UFOs over I don't even know where it was, New Mexico or Phoenix or something like
Yeah,
that."
it's this
And
one right
then
here.
yeah, that one. And then you mentioned that it's actually from like a video game or something.
Yeah, it's like some like military simulator, and you can like
Oh,
mod it
okay.
and stuff, and you have like full camera control. And so a lot of people tend to do this. I saw the original video on TikTok, and it had like a very like, oh my god, breaking news, UFOs and aliens. But then if you scroll all the way down to the bottom of the description, it says this was filmed using whatever the name of the game was. And I'm like, god damn it. I think it's like Arma
Uh,
3 or something like that, where you can like do stuff
oh,
like this.
That makes total sense. Yeah, Arma 3 is like super moddable. And they have like an official DLC that's all about aliens.
Yeah, and because like you can control like the where your camera sits, you can like you know what I mean. So it just looks so believable, but it's like now it's
Yeah.
getting spread by like multiple like drama news and stations about UFOs, and it's like, bro. Oh, it says right here on the right hand side. It says readers added context they thought might want people might want to know. The creator in each of his videos states at the bottom of each TikTok filmed with digital combat simulator. See?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
I feel like people just don't even look at the descriptions in like TikToks and stuff. They see the video, maybe they leave a comment and they just move on. They don't even look for
what's
context and
crazy is
stuff.
that people believe a video game. They look at video game content and they're
Yeah.
like, bro, it's real.
And
It's
what's crazy, that game, Arma 3, that game's like 10, 15 years old. It's not
yeah,
even like a recent game.
super old. If you could make content on anything besides gaming jab, what would it be?
Honestly, if it wasn't gaming involved at all, I think one thing that I would love to do, because I've watched a bunch of this type of content, it would be like narrating scary stories and stuff. Cause
Oh.
yeah, cause ever since I when I got my first smartphone, it was in like I was in like 11th grade or something like that. And one of the first things I discovered was like what creepypastas were. And
Mm-hmm.
so I immediately, because I always loved like scary stuff, I immediately got hooked and I would just like spend all day at school on my phone reading creepypastas. And that was something that I had like an idea of back then, even when I was like still in high school. I was like, it would be so cool to make YouTube videos where you just narrate these stories, because obviously some people don't want to read. They prefer to put in some earphones and listen to a story. And so that's definitely something that I think I would do if I wasn't doing anything gaming related. But at the same time, I don't know how that works, because I know like I, a lot of people don't want you to use their content for your content. So I don't know how it works when it comes to these YouTubers that like read like Reddit stories. Like, do they have to get permission first or like things like that? I don't know how it works, but that's something I would definitely love to do.
Yeah, you definitely have that unique voice for it too. You have a very unique voice, dude.
I think I appreciate it. I actually wrote that down in my thing too. I wrote, what type of content would you make other than mobile gaming content?
UFO content.
Hey, I mean, lately your channel would be blowing up with all the news that keeps coming out and stuff.
Oh my god, dude. There's been so much. That's the thing about the alien stuff is that like it literally goes back to like the dawn of man. You know what I mean? If you
Yeah,
follow like ancient aliens and all that stuff, it's like yeah, humankind has been, they've been like controlled and molded by aliens since the beginning. So if you believe all that,
dude.
there's some
Yeah,
cool theories there and all that. There's a lot of content there. That's why I'm so fascinated by it. What the hell
yeah,
is
it's
this?
crazy. It's Oh, that looks like a modern. These are pretty old creepy pastas, but there's like modern versions.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
No, don't worry. What I'm guessing this is for people listening, I'm guessing the dude that this one wearing the hoodie, I'm guessing that's Jeff the Killer, but this is obviously like someone's interpretation of him. And then the little dog is a Smile Dog, which is one of the more famous creepy pastas.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. It's
you
like
know
a
all about this, dude.
dude. I never like the Jeff the Killer one. It's a pretty dumb story in my opinion, but the Smile Dog one was actually kind of interesting. It was like centered around this like cursed image or something of a dog smiling, but it looked very like the teeth weren't dog teeth, they were like human teeth or something, and like it looked very very sinister or whatever. And supposedly if you looked at like the true image or something, you'd like kill yourself or something. So
Oh.
that was the whole creepypasta, was like some guy being like, they shared the image with me and now I have to share it with someone else or else I'll die and stuff. And yeah, it was
This is what all of my
it's
chihuahuas
funny.
look like.
Yeah, I used to love all that stuff. I used to love all the creepypasta stuff. I haven't read about them in quite some time. I'm sure the stories are as crazy as ever, but yeah, I used to love that stuff.
Super cool. You should write your own creepy pasta.
Oh, dude, that's all I wanted to do in high school. I was like, I'm gonna drop out. I'm just gonna write creepypastas all day. Like, I already got it figured out.
Oh my god, it's just the dog right here.
Dude, there have been so many different like iterations and like people's own opinions of like, no, look, this is the real image and stuff like that. Because that was one thing about early creepypastas is like they kind of people kind of treated them as if they were real, you know? So
Yeah,
when it came to stories like the Smile Dog one, people were convinced like, no, the real image is real and it exists somewhere, but all the images that people are sharing right now are just like recreations or fakes or whatever, but like the real one must exist somewhere on the internet, but obviously it doesn't exist, like it's a made up story.
yeah.
um Same thing with like Slenderman. There's people that like think that Slenderman is like a real thing.
Slender Man made like a whole movie on him, didn't they?
Yeah, I think they made a couple of like fan made movies, not fan made, sorry, like they took the creepypasta, you know, and then they made a horror movie about it. And then I think they made one that was based on that real story of that girl who like killed her friends because she thought, or she stabbed her friends. I don't think she killed them, but she stabbed her friends because Slenderman told her to do it or
Oh
something like that.
hell no!
Yeah, that just goes to show like
The
how crazy
power of the
the
creepy pasta.
yeah.
That's crazy, dude. Oh man.
My
Is
favorite creepypastas used to be the ones centered. There was a lot of them that used to be centered around aliens, or so those would be my favorite, or the ones that were centered around video games, because there would always be like video game ones where you would like,
oh my god, I'm
oh
so
my god,
sorry. I'm so sorry, Jab. I just saw this fan made creepy pasta or this fan made Slender Man, and then it just like the volume went all the way up. I got jump scared, like for
dude,
real.
there used to be a fan made Slenderman series on YouTube by these people called what was the name? Marble Hornets, I think. It's crazy that these guys with like a YouTube channel back in like 2011 or something were able to make like some really dope like found footage horror content. And it's crazy that like you look back at all the Slenderman stuff that's been made, like the movies and all that stuff, like that the YouTube channel thing is like the best media
Oh,
of Slenderman. Like it's crazy.
that's really cool. Sometimes fans, they get it, so they recreate stuff
Yeah,
faithfully.
yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah,
Nice.
but I used to love like the video game ones too. Like they would just make like random like haunted Pokemon cartridge, and then like someone found a Pokemon cartridge at the swap meet, and then they bought it, and then they play it, and then it's like a haunted game or whatever. Like they it's just like it's so dumb, but it was so interesting to read as a kid.
That's funny. Pretty cool. See, we
Yeah,
are more than just video games, Jab. We
for
we
sure,
we
for
encompass
sure.
a lot more than that. Things that mold us and make us who we are.
For sure. I'm interested to see the comments to see like how many other people are interested in this type of stuff, because I was actually surprised. I don't know if you saw, but when I uploaded your POV of the podcast to my channel, it ended up getting like 1,500 views or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I thought just from the length alone, just the fact that it was like an hour, I thought that it was gonna get like 200 views. And then I was surprised that so many people like actually clicked on it and watched it for like a long time and were like commenting on a topic that we talked about like 45 minutes in or whatever, and things like that. It is crazy.
Yeah, I was reading comments on yours and mine, and there were people were saying that it was just like a nice change of pace from like the usual gaming
Mm,
stuff. I mean, if you
yeah.
think about it, you know, some of the like the like the maybe the bigger mobile gaming content creators, they focus a lot of individual pieces, this gameplay, this gameplay, this gameplay, and
Yeah.
none of them really have like a series kind of like this. They might do collaborations with each other. I think the tribe frags channel, I think it's like Iferg, Godsley, that dork Vague, they all get together. Hawks, no, Hawks Nest is dope. Hawks is dope. But they all get together and they like, they have like little sit downs and they talk, and
Yeah.
they do things together. But no one really has, from what I've watched, something like this. But hopefully it is something that we can continue to do. I mean, I hope we can. And as long as people are willing to watch
Yeah,
it or whatnot, and we'll only get better and better as we have more practice and record more episodes and stuff.
for sure. Eventually, we'll come up with the name. Eventually, maybe we'll figure out like a proper intro, outro. Last time, all I said was bye.
Yeah.
But no,
Yeah.
yeah, I agree, man. I agree. I think, yeah, there's a couple people that mentioned that. I mean, like, this was like a nice change of pace. There's not much mobile gaming specifically. There's not much mobile gaming content creators who do anything like this. I think Bobby and Ducky have their own podcast, but it's like an episode a month or a episode every 2 months, and it's still mobile gaming only. Like, they don't really diverge into any other topics.
Right.
So yeah, I think what we are doing, it's kind of interesting. It's different for sure. And yeah, hopefully people enjoy it enough that we just keep doing it for however long it ends up lasting.
Yeah. Hopefully forever until we get
Yeah.
old. We'll just be two old guys.
Episode 2000, we're in like the retirement home.
Sheesh,
Like
imagine.
I think that's a good spot to end it on. What do you think? I don't want to
Yeah.
drag it on too long for people.
No, I think we're good, man. I think people hopefully they got enough content today.
Yeah, for sure.
We talked about a lot of stuff. I very much enjoyed your review. I mean, we can essentially call it, a review or first impressions, I guess, of the Red Magic. So,
Yeah.
hopefully that adds value to anybody who is, looking for context on what it's like living with a a Red Magic. If it's something that is worth spending your money on.
Yeah,
Um,
for sure.
so shout out to Jab for, providing us with that. He spent all that money so you don't have to.
It's like that time that I spent like thirteen
Oh,
hundred
the
dollars
PUBG
worth of
mobile video.
new state.
Oh, the
Yeah.
new state, new state. Yeah, that's right.
I just want to
Damn.
be clear, that wasn't my money. I didn't actually spend it. They gave it to me. But I was saving it and then I spent it. But
Hey, it was awesome. I was like, whoa, this man crazy, bro. And then I think the
yeah,
point was you didn't even get all the stuff that you were hoping to get.
no, yeah, that was the point. I was like, look, I have like $1,300 worth of currency. I want the full outfit and the gun. So let's see if that's enough. If $1,300 is enough to get it, and it wasn't. I don't. I can't remember which parts I didn't get. I think it was the gun though. I think I didn't get the gun, but I'm not sure. But yeah, $1,300 was not enough to fulfill one lucky draw, and they usually have like 5 or 6 of them going on at once, which is kind
That's
of crazy.
crazy, bro.
Yeah,
Super crazy.
it's wild. But yeah, I appreciate you, dude, for doing this with me. It's something that I know it took us a while to do, but it's something that I've been wanting to do because I thought like, man, there's no one else doing this, and I'm sure there's at least a few dozen people who would watch it.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so this is something that I've been wanting to do, and it's really fun to do, especially to talk about the non-mobile gaming topics and stuff. And yeah, if you ended up listening this far in and you listen to the alien stuff and you
And
you
the
would like
creepy
you
pasta
would like
stuff.
us to yeah, and you would like us to talk more about that, you for sure leave a comment. That way we know, like, oh, it's just not two old dudes talking about scary stuff to themselves. Like,
For sure, man.
but yeah, appreciate you, dude. And
Yeah.
if you're watching this on my channel and you guys haven't checked out AB, definitely check out AB. He has some of the best mobile gaming content, some of the best streams, Call of Duty Mobile, Warzone, all that stuff. So definitely check him out because honestly, he's like one of the best content creators out right now.
Am I?
He's I
Am I? And a huge shout out to Jaboozle. Jab has always been a really cool guy, very knowledgeable guy. If you haven't checked out his channel, check him out. Subscribe to him, show him some love. And yeah, I can't imagine myself doing this with anybody else besides my broski Jaboozle. We've known each other a long time, and yeah, I think it's a good fit. Hopefully, we'll come up with
yeah,
a podcast name.
for sure. We definitely have to think about that. But
All right. All right. Yes,
Appreciate
sir.
you, dude. Appreciate anyone who listened. And yeah, we'll see you
Thank you
guys
for
in the
watching.
next episode.
See you on the next
Yeah.
one. Peace.
Peace.
Jinx.
Awesome. That was
Awesome,
dope.
bro.